It has become Okay. Hey everyone, this is Hillary, the marketing mom. Glad you're able to join me today. It is 12:32 on the Eastern Seaboard, and I am glad to be able to joining you today. So I hope I'm able to see your comments. Facebook sometimes does that, but today what I'm going to be sharing with you is asking the right questions. And I just said bye-bye to my dad there. You know, he came to get some technical support. All right, that's what we young people do, right? Technical support. And I just want to say, you know, if you're wanting to learn how to create that automated recruiting system, if you're a network marketer, you really want to get into the attraction marketing formula, book the attraction marketing formula bootcamp. It's a 10-day bootcamp that really starts with that mindset of where you want to start, especially if you're going to be doing any online marketing of your business. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hillary. I'm the marketing mom. I'm a social media manager, business online marketing strategist, business coach, and trainer. And my brain just freeze there because, you know, today our kids are home. We've got the babysitter outside watching them while we're able to get some focused work done. All right, and then my dad came over to get some assistance with some technical stuff. All right, because, you know, I'm like that go-to person. So anyway, today what I wanted to share was talking about asking the right questions, and not only asking the right questions to your potential clients, but asking the right questions of yourself. And why I kind of wanted to talk about this is because it's interesting. We have to ask the right questions in life. And one of the things that when I first became a mom, right, another mom of mine who I look up to, she's a mom of 7. All right, so for those of you who are ambitious, she's a mom of 7. And she always used to tell me, you know, with your kids, you have to make sure that you ask the right questions. And I just want to go and make sure that we are live here on Facebook because I'm seeing a little bit of disconnect in the feed. So I'm just going to go over to my page on the phone to make sure we are live and that I'm seeing myself. Yep, there we go. There we are. So it's a little jumpy. So if you see the see that jump, don't worry, it's the internet connection. Anyway, so one of the things that I remember, as you know, as I first came into this whole world of motherhood, all right, you know, one of the things that she always used to tell me is, as your children are growing up, you've got to ask them the right questions. And why do we do that with our children? We want to ask the right questions so that they come to the right answers, or they come to answers themselves. Because at the end of the day, they're only going to be children for a very short time in their lifespan if they live, you know, the average, you know, age 80, 90, however old, right? My dad, he's pushing 90, okay? But, you know, the thing is, we do that with our children. So we're very careful because we want them to follow the right path. We want them to follow a good path. We want them to become good citizens in society and providing for society and contributing to society. So we nurture this thought, all right? We nurture this thought. But then when it comes to our businesses, and particularly for network marketers, they just seem to be like, they don't ask the right questions. And interestingly enough, you know, having a conversation, and it's quite frankly, it's kind of merged. It's like a conversation that was merged. So it's very blurry. But what I got out of that, the gist out of it, was that the person who was seeking the information, they weren't asking the right questions. They were making statements, right, that came along with certain assumptions that they had. But then the person who they were trying to get the information from, they weren't getting that connect, if you follow what I'm saying, all right? So that may be a little confusing, but basically it's kind of like that situation where, you know, and this is a very simplified situation. You're growing up as a kid and your mom says, wouldn't it be great if you did so and so? Wouldn't it be great if you cleaned your room? And the child who thinks a lot would be like, no, it won't be great. Really and truly, the question that the parent wants to ask is, what the statement the parent wants to ask says, go and clean your room. But rather than stating, go and clean your room, the parent is trying to see if the child, by asking a type of question, they're going to come and say, okay, you know what, maybe I should go and clean my room. But that's the wrong type of way to ask it. Don't you think it is? No. So if you ask, don't you think, then people are going to be like, no, I don't think. All right. So that's the wrong type of question. Yes, it's asking questions, and that's a good thing, because whatever we want out of life, we've got to ask for it. Okay, and that's something that, you know, it's, if you listen carefully to what I just said, whatever you want out of life, you have to ask for it. Okay, now the thing is, in let's take for example salaries and negotiation. You know, a lot of people, after they've gotten a job and they've so-called negotiated their salary and they start working and they realize the workload, they always say to themselves, I wish I had asked for more. We always get what we ask for, or we always get what we don't ask for. So it works both ways. If you don't ask for something, there are times when you're not going to get what you want. Okay, so if you are demanding something, all right, then you're going to get that in return. Okay, you demand what it is that you want. Now it's the same thing if you're building a network marketing business. If you're building a network marketing business and you're not asking the right questions of your prospects, okay, and we're talking about customers as well as prospects. Okay, so your whatever business you're in, if you're not asking the right questions, meaning what are their problems, you've got to know what their problems are to be able to ask the questions. All right, so do they have joint pain? Okay, when you go to a doctor, they ask questions. Do you have joint pains? Do you have back pains? Do you have a skin rash? Has there been fever? For how long? Okay, effectively, these are the same type of questions you want to be asking your prospects, but obviously not from the standpoint of you're a doctor, from the standpoint of you are, you know, trying to figure out, is this a good opportunity for the person? Because as we said in earlier videos, opportunities are not for everyone. And if you continue and if you recognize that and understand that network marketing is not for everyone, then you're not going to go out there trying to prospect everybody in the parking lots of malls, in your church, in everywhere. Okay, anybody that has skin, you're trying to prospect. All right, because soon you'll just be in the what we call the NFL club. All right, no friends left, and you don't want to be in the NFL club. Okay, so, and it's the same thing with all sorts of other businesses. Your business is a solution to somebody's specific problem. It doesn't matter what business you're in. And if you think of it that way, as your business as a solution, then you're not going to be going after any and everybody. All right. A lot of people waste tons of money in advertising because they're trying to reach the world. And as I've said before countless times, you've got to know who it is that you want to reach and just go after that. And I guarantee you, if you spend all your advertising dollars on just 1,000 people who are actually interested in your business, you will gain far better returns than if you spent a whole lot more advertising money on people who just don't care about your product or service. All right. So asking the right questions, especially, and consultants do this superbly. All right, a consultant is not afraid to say next. All right, a consultant is not afraid to ask the right questions and identify, is this a client for me? I got a business coach many years ago, and when we first sat down to discuss things, you know, he said to me, he was talking to me and asking me questions, and that's all he was doing for an entire hour, asking questions. And then at the end, I said to myself, so am I a good fit for you? And it's because I knew from what angle he was coming from. He wasn't trying to say, okay, I just want this sale and I just want this coaching business, so I'm just asking these questions out of, you know, out of rote. No, asking questions is most important because you need to know if this customer is a good fit for you. Okay, and it's amazing because in our coaching program inside of Elite Marketing Pro, they ask questions. They ask questions about what are your goals? How do you know what your numbers are in terms of how to achieve these business goals? And that's important because a lot of people, they get into business and they don't think about these things. They don't think about asking these questions of themselves. And that's why sometimes coaching could be so powerful, because you're able to get from somebody else, from an outside view. All right. Basically, it's like from outside looking in. What are the questions you need to be asking of yourself? And then what are the questions you need to be asking of others in order for you to get better results? All right. So some of the questions I want you to ask today, all right, of yourself, not of others, all right, because when we talk about recruiting and prospecting, that's a totally different scenario. But I want you to ask of yourself, are you in the right environment? Okay, have you studied what it is that you actually need to do? And we're not talking about all the motivation and all this stuff, the physical things, the pen to paper things. Have you written down what are those things that you must do on a daily basis in order to achieve your goals, in order to achieve success? You've got to ask those questions. Do you know what are the sales outputs of whatever business you're in? Do you know what is the sale potential? What is the profit potential? Do you know what it costs you in advertising? All of these are the type of questions that you need to be asking yourself, especially if you're in the online world. And it's very easy. One question that a business coach of mine, when I first met him, he asked me, what's your cost per lead? And I was like, what is he talking about? Cost per lead? And the reality is, if you don't have the answers, if you've never asked the question, you're never going to know the answer, and you're never going to know how to benchmark. Okay. Now, for those of you who are brand new to clicks and online marketing and Facebook marketing, yeah, that may seem far-fetched, but I know we've got maybe some veterans here who understand cost per lead. Okay, in the consulting world, cost per lead, they will consider that like what's their referral cost. Okay, so in the offline world, when we're talking about consultants, right, and you refer a client to them and they give you a little $100 or something, that's their cost per lead. Online, you could get cost per leads as low as $2, all right, $2 per click. And what is the value of a lead in your business? It does depend on what's your highest ticket product, okay? So, or it depends on what's the product that you're selling in that funnel. And you're going to learn a lot more when you jump inside of the funnel, what your cost per lead is, all right? So for those of you who don't know, all right, and want to learn more about this type of online automation, I call it, all right, visit the link in the description. It's HillaryDeFreitas.com/AMF/AMF, Attraction Marketing Formula. All right, it's a 10-day bootcamp that's going to introduce you to the concepts of attracting leads and understanding all of these things that I was talking about in terms of the right questions that you need to ask to get better results in your business, all right, whatever business that may be. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Hillary, the Marketing Mom. I'm a social media manager at Elite Marketing Pro, a digital marketing strategist. I'm also a online business coach, marketing coach, and trainer, all right? So for those of you who want to work with me and want to learn more, just visit the link HillaryDeFreitas.com/AMF, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, have a great one, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I may be out with my kids tomorrow, so we're gonna do, you know, an out of the office type of life, as camp is out and they are still home on vacation until September. So we're gonna have a lot of kids inside of our live streams for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye everyone.